The moment someone senses you need them, you stop being a person. You become a lever, a button, a resource they press when convenient. You texted first after being ignored. You apologized when you weren't wrong. You stayed years past respect's expiration because you needed it to work. That need cost you everything: your time, your power, your peace. Machiavelli knew people don't respect need. They exploit it. Jung knew why you keep doing it. The shadow part that can walk away terrifies you. You buried it, called it cruel. But that buried part is your only defense. Here's the forbidden question. Why do I keep giving people leverage over me? Because you were taught your value comes from being needed. If you stop being useful, you'll be abandoned. So you became the perfect victim. This video ends that. You'll learn the 7 Machiavellian laws that remove every handle. You'll integrate the Jungian shadow that stops showing need. By the end, you won't just understand why you've been losing. You'll be emotionally untouchable. Law No. 3 collapses their frame completely. Law No. 7 is the final sentence that makes manipulators stop trying. And if you don't integrate the shadow work, you'll fake detachment but still leak need. If these ideas resonate with you, hit that subscribe button for more top-tier content. Also, drop a "need nothing" in the comments so I know you're ready. Let's dive in. Every interaction operates on brutal mechanics. Whoever needs less controls more. When you need their response more than they need yours, you've entered a power imbalance. And imbalances don't self-correct. They deepen. They test boundaries, delay responses, cancel plans, give less. Because you've trained them that your need is unconditional. You've handed them the handle. Trace the moment power shifted. You waited anxiously for their text. They replied days later, casually. You responded instantly, warmly. That moment, that's when the handle appeared. You asked if they were mad. You spent 3 days analyzing what you did wrong, walking on eggshells. They learned they control your emotional state without effort. You stayed when you were an option while making them your priority. You convinced yourself it was complicated. But you knew, and you stayed. That's when you became controllable. Need is a signal. Humans respond to signals. When you signal need through availability, reaction speed, eagerness to please, inability to say no, you broadcast a frequency that attracts exploitation. Machiavelli understood. Need isn't emotion, it's leverage, and leverage gets used. Jung would tell you there's a shadow reason you keep doing this. Part of you knows how to withdraw, be cold, say, "I don't care," and mean it. But you've been taught that part is cruel. It's not. It's protection. Every time you've been hurt, it's because you refuse to access it. Law number 1, need is a handle. The moment you need something, validation, reassurance, closure, you give them control. You need closure from someone who ghosted, so you text, "Can we talk? I need to understand." You've handed them total power. Your peace is contingent on their response. They can ignore you, respond cruelly, or breadcrumb you, all controlled by them, experienced by you. You need validation from a distant friend. You reach out more, try harder. You've made yourself the pursuer. Pursuers don't get respect, they get tolerated. You need your partner to change. You bring it up repeatedly. Each time you signal, "I need you to change for me to be okay." That tells them they have all the leverage. Most people, when they realize they're showing need, try to hide it, play games, act busy, pretend not to care. It doesn't work. The need is still there, underground, and humans sense it. You're not fooling anyone. You're adding inauthenticity to need. The only solution: kill the need. Genuinely. Law No. 2, remove the reward. Every time someone pulls the handle and you respond with the same warmth, availability, effort, you reward the behavior. You're teaching them, mistreating me has no cost. Operant conditioning. Behaviors that are rewarded get repeated. Right now, taking you for granted has no cost, so they do. and will continue until you introduce consequence. Tactical specifics. They ignore you for 3 days, text casually. Old you, respond immediately warmly. New you, wait 3 days, match the energy. Brief, no warmth. You've removed the reward of instant access. They cancel last minute. Old you, no problem, when are you free? New you, okay, no rescheduling. Next time they try to make plans, you're unavailable. You've filled that time with something that respects your schedule. They disrespect you publicly, old you. Laugh it off. New you, leave, physically exit, no argument, just withdrawal. You've removed the reward of your presence during disrespect. Notice, no arguing, explaining, defending. Those still center them. Removing the reward means they become irrelevant to your actions. You're not pulling back to hurt them. You're pulling back because your energy is now reserved for what reciprocates. When you remove the reward, 2 things happen. They notice the absence and step up, or they don't. If they don't, you've discovered the relationship was never real. It was sustained by your effort alone. And the relationship you were fighting to save, it didn't exist. It was a projection, Jung's shadow work. The reason you can't remove the reward is fear of being alone, that they won't chase, that they'll let you go. And that possibility is more terrifying than staying in a dynamic that's killing you. But you are alone. You've been alone the entire time. You've just been afraid to admit it. Law number 3, starve the frame. Every dynamic operates inside a frame. Invisible rules about who pursues, decides, has power, and you've been living inside their frame. They set the rules. They decide when to respond, show up, care. You react, adjust, wait, hope. You're in their reality, playing by their rules, and the rules are designed so they win. Starving the frame means you stop feeding their reality with your reactions. You stop operating by their timeline, their standards. You stop accepting the premise. Here's the frame you've been trapped in. I need to prove my value, so they'll choose me. That's the game. As long as you're playing it, you lose. The frame you need. I am the choice. They need to prove they deserve access. You're not changing behavior. You're changing the entire operating reality. They text expecting a response within minutes. You don't respond for hours. Not as a game. You were genuinely busy. The frame was, your time is interruptible. The new frame, my time is protected. They expect you to ask where the relationship is going. You stop asking. Let it be ambiguous. The frame was, you need them to commit. New frame, I'm fine without commitment. They expect emotional availability when they're ready. You're unavailable. Busy. Frame was, I'm here when you need me. New frame, I'm here when it works for me. Psychologically, on their end, they're used to predictability. They know if they reach out, you respond. If they give a little, you give a lot. Now the pattern is broken. Humans can't tolerate broken patterns. It creates cognitive dissonance, uncertainty. They start questioning, why aren't they responding? Are they seeing someone else? Did they lose interest? Those questions aren't about you, they're about them. You've flipped the script. They're now the ones showing need, but Jung's work, your unconscious mind is still feeding the frame. Consciously, you pull back. Unconsciously, you're still checking if they noticed, hoping they'll reach out, defining your worth by their response. That unconscious need leaks. They feel it. The frame holds. Starving the frame requires shadow integration, accepting that the part of you that doesn't care isn't your enemy. It's your power. Law number 4, silence creates value. In a world of constant availability, silence is the rarest resource. Scarcity creates value. When you go silent, not as manipulation, but as genuine self-focus, you force them to confront your absence. And absence, when you've been constant, is psychologically deafening. Neuroscience. The brain is wired to notice gaps, Zeigarnik effect, incomplete tasks loop in the mind. When you're always available, you're a completed task. They don't think about you because they don't have to. But the moment you become unavailable, You're an incomplete task. Psychological tension. The loop. Why haven't they responded? What are they doing? That loop is you gaining value. Caveat: silence only creates value if you're not expecting it to. If you go silent hoping they'll notice, checking your phone, waiting, they'll feel the manipulation. You're not silent. You're loud, screaming for attention through absence. True silence is redirection. You've genuinely moved focus from them to you. Not, I'm ignoring you so you'll chase me. It's, I have better things to focus on, and whether you notice is irrelevant. Tactical breakdown, phase 1, conscious withdrawal. Stop initiating. Stop being first to text, call, make plans. Not a test. You're conserving energy. If the relationship dies from lack of your effort, it was already dead. You were animating the corpse. Phase 2, response delay. When they reach out, don't respond immediately. You were genuinely engaged elsewhere. When you respond, brief, no emotional availability, polite acknowledgement. Phase 3, unavailability. They try to make plans. You're busy, actually busy. Your calendar is filled with things that don't include them. You're not waiting around. Phase 4, emotional neutrality. When you interact, no neediness, no probing questions, no emotional bids. Calm, detached presence. They can't tell if you're upset or indifferent. That ambiguity is strategic. Ambiguity forces wondering. Watch what happens. People who valued you will notice and adjust. They'll reach out more, increase effort. Those people you can re-engage with carefully. Most people, narcissists, users, will either hoover, love bomb to pull you back, or let you go without a fight. Both outcomes give clarity. Silence is not negotiation. It's a lifestyle shift. You're not going silent to get something. You're going silent because you're done being available for people who don't value your presence. Law number 5, make access conditional. This law makes people call you cold or changed because it requires making your presence contingent on how you're treated. Not history, not potential, on treatment. Now, consistently. If treatment doesn't meet the standard, access is revoked. No argument, no explanation, quiet, permanent withdrawal, paradigm shift. Unconditional love is not unconditional access. You can love someone and refuse to let them into your life. You can care and still cut communication. Access to you, your time, energy, emotional labor is not a right, it's a privilege. Privileges are earned, maintained, when abused, revoked, not out of cruelty. Self-preservation. Conditional access mechanics. Condition 1, respect. Someone disrespects you, your time, boundaries, values. Access is revoked immediately. They disrespect you publicly. Leave. Mid-conversation. No explanation. Privately. Stop responding. Go dark. They feel the consequence before understanding it. You don't explain. Explanation opens negotiation. Boundaries aren't negotiable. Condition 2. Consistency. Someone is inconsistent, shows up when convenient, disappears when you need them. Access is revoked. You stop being available when they reach out. You match inconsistency with unavailability. Condition 3, reciprocity. Someone takes more than they give. Access is revoked. You stop being their therapist, their bank, their emotional support. I can't talk right now. I need to focus on my own things. No guilt, just boundaries. Condition 4, accountability. Someone hurts you and refuses responsibility, gaslights, deflects, blames you. Access is revoked. You don't stay to convince them they hurt you. You leave, quietly, permanently. Shadow work. You can't make access conditional because you're terrified they'll leave. And if they leave, you'll be alone. And being alone feels like confirmation you're not enough. Core wound, unconscious belief directing your life. If I set boundaries, I'll be abandoned. So you don't. You make yourself unconditionally available. You call it love. It's not. It's fear of your own company. The shadow self is okay being alone, prefers solitude to bad company, would rather have no relationship than a disrespectful one. You've been taught that self is cold, avoidant, damaged. That self is free, can't be leveraged, manipulated, kept in a cage. That self walks. Law number 6, walk away first. The power move that changes everything. Walking away first means you're not waiting for them to discard you. You've seen enough. You've chosen you. And that choice is the ultimate reclamation of power. Machiavellian truth. The person who leaves first controls the narrative. They're not the one who got left. They're the one who decided the situation was beneath their standard. That positioning is psychologically devastating to someone used to having options. Suddenly, they're the option that got rejected. Walking away first, quiet, irreversible disengagement. You stop investing, hoping, trying, redirect energy entirely. You don't tell them, no, we need to talk conversation. No explanation. You just leave, internally first, then externally. Tactical. Step 1, internal departure. Make the decision you're done. Not maybe done, done, grieve. Feel it, then close the door. Mentally, emotionally. The relationship is over inside you. Step 2, behavioral shift. Stop initiating, accommodating, being available. Not a tactic. You're living out the internal decision. You're polite if you interact, but no warmth, no opening, no hope. Step 3, exit without announcement. You don't tell them. You fade. If they notice and reach out, you're honest. I've moved on. Past tense, decided, done, then disengage. What happens? Either they let you go, proving they never valued you enough to fight, or they panic and try to pull you back. If they pull, ask, are they chasing me or chasing control? Test by staying gone. If genuine, they'll show sustained, changed behavior. If manipulative, they'll hoover, love bomb, then revert. Walking away first is shadow integration. You accessing the part that can be alone, can be cold, can choose peace over connection. And that part, integrated, makes you untouchable. Everything fails if you don't address the unconscious wound that made you vulnerable. This is Jung's life work, making the unconscious conscious. The core wound you're carrying. I need to be needed to have value. You learned early, from parents who only gave attention when you performed, from culture that told you worth is external. You internalized it. Love is conditional on usefulness. Connection is contingent on sacrifice. To be valued, you must be valuable. And valuable means available, accommodating, undemanding, self-erasing. You became the perfect victim. Not because you're weak, because you were conditioned to equate self-abandonment with virtue. Every time someone exploited that, you blamed yourself. I'm too sensitive. I'm too needy. You turned abuse inward. That internalization is the hook keeping you trapped. Jung, this pattern is driven by your shadow, the disowned part. What you disowned, the capacity to be selfish, to prioritize yourself, to say no without guilt, to withdraw without explanation, to be cold when cold is needed. You were taught those capacities are bad, so you buried them, and now they run your life from the shadows. How the shadow works, what you repress doesn't disappear. It goes underground and sabotages you. Repressed selfishness becomes passive aggression. Repressed anger becomes resentment. Repressed detachment becomes emotional shutdown after you've reached your limit. You think you're good by repressing, but you're a ticking time bomb. Integration, bringing repressed parts into consciousness, not to become them, to own them. You contain both connection and detachment, both forgiveness and cutting people off, both warmth and coldness. Neither is more real. Both are you. You choose consciously which a situation requires. Integration process. Step 1. Identify the disowned trait. For most, detachment. The ability to not care, not be affected, to walk away without guilt. Step 2. Trace the conditioning. When did you learn it was bad? A parent who called you selfish when you prioritized yourself. Culture that told you nice people stay. You absorbed. Detachment is bad, so you repressed it. Step 3. Reframe the trait. Detachment isn't cruelty, it's clarity. The ability to walk away is the ability to value yourself more than a toxic dynamic. Being cold is refusing to be warm to people who use your warmth against you. Step 4. Practice conscious access. Feel the urge to text someone distant. Don't. Access the part that can sit in uncertainty. Feel the urge to explain yourself to someone who disrespected you. Don't. Access the part that knows explanation is unnecessary. Each time you access the shadow, it becomes less foreign. It integrates. Step 5. Notice the external shift. When you integrate, people feel it. You're no longer controllable, predictable. You contain possibility, connection, or complete detachment. That creates respect. They know you're not bluffing. You're genuinely indifferent. And indifference to someone used to controlling you through need, that's power they can't counter. Shadow work. You have to grieve who you thought you were. You thought you were the loyal one who never gives up on people. Integration means accepting you're also the one who can give up. Be ruthless. Prioritize yourself without guilt. That acceptance feels like death. It is. Death of the identity you've built your life around. But on the other side, freedom. Freedom to choose connection without need, to love without fear, to walk away without looking back. Jung, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. This is the pain. Realizing half the relationships you're clinging to were sustained by your effort alone. Admitting the people you're afraid to lose have already lost you. They just haven't noticed. Accepting the version of you that stays no matter what isn't virtuous, it's self-destructive. The version that can walk, cold, detached, self-prioritizing, isn't cruel. It's whole. The integrated self can sit across from someone they love and say, with total calm, "I love you, but I won't tolerate this." And mean both. The love is real. The boundary is real. Neither cancels the other. That's the person manipulators can't touch. No contradiction to exploit, no gap between words and actions, no need to leverage. You've become psychologically coherent, and coherence is invincibility. Law number 7, the final sentence. The moment when someone who's been testing you, manipulating you, leveraging you realizes the game is over. Not through argument or explanation, through a single, cold, definitive statement that communicates total detachment. When it comes from genuine integration, it's devastating, because it's calm. The final sentence isn't planned, it's not a tactic, it's the external expression of internal shift. You've done shadow work, integrated detachment, removed the reward, starved the frame, made access conditional, walked away internally. Now someone tries to pull old levers, and instead of reacting, you deliver the final sentence, the sentence that makes them realize there's nothing left to manipulate. What it's not. I'm done with you. You're toxic. I can't do this anymore. All emotional, reactive. They contain hope, anger, sadness, emotions that can be leveraged. The final sentence contains none of that. It's delivered with the same tone you'd decline a dinner invitation. Calm, neutral, definitive, what it is. I don't think about you anymore. This doesn't affect me. I'm indifferent. I've moved on. I don't have space for this. Notice, past tense or present state, not future threat. You're not saying what you'll do if they don't change. You're saying what already is. You're done. You've departed. Their behavior, apologies, promises, none matters. The relationship is over inside you. The final sentence is just you telling them what you've already decided. Power. It offers no opening, nothing to argue against, negotiate, manipulate. If you say, if you do that again, I'm leaving, they can promise not to. But if you say, I've already left, there's nothing to work with. Decision made, door closed. Scenarios, the breadcrumber. They text after weeks of silence. Final sentence, I don't keep up with this anymore. Then stop responding. The guilt tripper. I thought you cared about me. Final sentence, I cared. I don't anymore. No explanation. The Hoover attempt. Apologies and promises to change. Final sentence, I'm not revisiting this. Then block. The provocateur. Insults, accusations, attempts to make you react. Final sentence, okay, or no response. Engaging is still engagement. The future faker. Promises of therapy, change, realization. Final sentence, that's between you and your future relationships. Machiavellian brilliance. The final sentence is delivered without emotion because emotion is leverage. Appearing weak, affected, like you care, is how people find angles. The final sentence removes all angles. You're not angry. That means they still have power. Not sad. That means you still want it to work. Not hopeful. That means they still have a chance. You're neutral. And neutrality to someone used to controlling you emotionally is terrifying. Critical. The final sentence only works if it's true. If you deliver it while secretly hoping they'll fight for you, they'll feel the incongruence. They'll call the bluff. It must come from conscious wholeness, where you've integrated the shadow, accepted you can walk away and be fine, genuinely detached. All previous laws build to this. You can't deliver it until you've done the work, until you've removed the reward and survived without their validation. Starved the frame and realized you don't need their reality. Made access conditional and actually revoked it. Walked away first internally and felt the freedom. The final sentence is the capstone. External confirmation of internal transformation. After you deliver it, nothing, or rather, nothing involving you. They might rage, beg, try every manipulation. None affects you. You've closed the door. Moved on. Their reaction is no longer your concern. It's happening in a space you no longer occupy. The final sentence is Jungian individuation made verbal. You saying, I am whole. I don't need you to complete me. I don't need your validation, your closure, anything from you. That's not a threat. That's truth. And truth from integration is invincible. Machiavelli's ultimate lesson, power isn't force. It's position. The final sentence is ultimate power position. You're not fighting, arguing, trying to win. You've already won by removing yourself from the game. And the person left standing, wondering why you're not playing, has just lost everything, not because you destroyed them, because you made them irrelevant. You've learned the 7 Machiavellian laws that remove every handle people use to control you. But laws aren't transformation. Transformation is integration. Integration is living these as truth, not tactics. You didn't just learn to deal with narcissists or set boundaries. You learned to become psychologically untouchable. Need is the handle. Removing it removes leverage. Removing the reward teaches you're no longer controllable. Starving the frame collapses their reality. Silence creates value by making presence scarce. Making access conditional protects peace. Walking away first reclaims power. The final sentence ends the game permanently. But more than tactics, you learned the Jungian truth. You've been afraid of your own power, afraid of the part that can detach, be cold, walk away without guilt. You were taught that part was cruel. It's protective. Every time you've been hurt, it's because you refused to access it. You stayed when you should have left, explained when you should have gone silent, gave chances when you should have revoked access, showed need when you should have shown indifference. Jung, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. You've been calling repeated betrayal fate, but it's not fate. It's pattern, unconscious repetition. You've been unconsciously seeking the same dynamic, relationships where you prove value by enduring disrespect, because deep down, you still believe that's what love requires. That's the wound. Until you integrate the shadow self that knows better, you'll keep reopening it. The shadow self says, "I'd rather be alone than disrespected." It can look someone in the eye and say, "I don't need you," and feel relief, not fear. It values peace over connection. You've been running from it. Stop running. That self protects you from being leveraged. The moment you integrate it, see detachment as clarity, not cruelty, you become untouchable. The forbidden question. Final time, why do I keep giving people leverage over me? Answer, because you're still hoping they'll see your value change, become what you need. And hope, attached to people who've shown exactly who they are, is not optimism, it's self-destruction. Hope is the final handle. Let go of it. Accept people as they are, not as you need them to be. You're free. Machiavelli's lesson was clarity. Clarity that power dynamics are real, that people respect what they fear losing, that need is weakness, that the person who can walk away holds power because they're fine either way. That's not manipulation, that's truth. And truth is freedom, your choice. Go back to showing need, chasing, explaining, staying too long, giving too much, same results. Taken for granted, exploited, or integrate the shadow, access the part that can detach, remove the handle, make access conditional, walk away first, deliver the final sentence from total calm. Become the person who makes people fear losing you, not because you're playing games, because you've genuinely stopped needing them. The transformation, from half-person to whole person, someone who can only give to someone who can also withdraw, only stay to also leave, emotionally leverageable to emotionally untouchable. That's the promise. That's what these 7 laws give you if you integrate them. If you're ready to stop being a lever, ready to stop showing need and start commanding respect, type "need nothing" in the comments right now. As a declaration, a commitment to shadow work that makes these laws real, because without integration, they're theory, and theory doesn't protect you. Integration does. If this video gave you clarity, validation, a framework, subscribe to this channel. We don't sugarcoat power dynamics. We don't tell you to communicate more. We tell you truth. The world respects strength, not need. Silence, not explanation. People who can walk away, not people who cling. Every video gives you dark psychology, Machiavellian frameworks, Jungian depth that turns you from exploited to sovereign. If you're not subscribed, you're missing the education that changes everything. Do it now. Final mandate. Do not stop now. We've dismantled need, but one trap remains. They'll try to pull you into arguments, explanations, defending yourself. If you fall for it, you lose everything you gained. Next, 7 Machiavelli dark psychology laws that make you too valuable to replace. Once you understand power, people stop testing you. They fear losing you. Scarcity isn't about disappearing. It's about becoming irreplaceable. These laws shift how others perceive your value without you saying a word. Miss this, and you'll keep being taken for granted. You need this video. I'll see you there. See what others miss. Know what others fear. Become who others can't.